pleasant good morning. Coming to you live and lively from Delaware Beach from the MAQ Stadium here on this August 16th, 2020. We're in for an enthralling day's play of cricket. We have some 4 matches slated for the day, and we are urging you to stick and stay. MAQTV.com, spread the word. Ivor Henry alongside Wadi and Brianna as our official scorers. So earlier in the day, we would have seen the MAQ All-Stars. They would have won the toss and elected to take the first knock. They're coming up against the Global Warriors. Global Warriors have been captained by Horace Stanley. And the team is Damien Rowe, Peter Anthony, he is the wicketkeeper. We have Leroy White, Philip Cameron, Bradley Chang, Orlando Johnson, Derek Denton, Patrick Denton, Jamail Campbell, Ian Thomas. And that's the starting 11. So we're going to be starting the proceedings here from the northern end, and Johnson it is who is opening the bowling. So Johnson, bang on target. First delivery, short of a length, and the batsman covering up nicely. So this time he's stroking this one nicely. Knocked down there, beautifully in the covers. But the batsman scampers through for a single. So the MAQ Stars has opened their account with a single from the second delivery. Beautiful cricket all around there. All protocols are being followed here at the MAQ Stadium. Johnston left armour. This one is leaving the... Yes, a dot goes into the scores book as taken there, rising outside the off stump, taken there by the wicketkeeper Peter Pelawantini. 1 for no loss, so Zishan Qureshi is off the mark. So Rizwan Mohammed, he's yet to open his account. Johnson bowls over the week. This time he's playing this one, he's in the air. Peter getting under it, and he takes the catch. Wicket number 1 goes. This one was banged in short, and the batsman tried to pull it, hustled onto him. Got a top edge, and Peter Anthony would have made no mistake. So wicket number 1 is in the bank. It's 1 for 1. That's the latest score here at the MAQ Cricket Stadium here in Delaware Beach. This one is down the leg side, and the batsman swiveling, but apparently it passed over the sticks. No signal or call by the umpire Bally. So another dot into the scores book. So the new batsman is Yasib Rapa. So Rajpa. So Skipper Qureshi, he's still here. This time he's stroking this one nicely off the legs. They're thinking 2, but 1, that's all they'll be. Has come to a successful over number 1. It's a 10 over encounter, and we're off to a little bit of a late start, but it's going to be a long summer day. So all of 4 matches slated to be taken in today. So we ask that you stick and stay. So at the end of over number 1, the latest score here at the MAQ Cricket Stadium, it's 2 for 1. So the action seems as if it's white. Is that white bowling? Yes, as locally goes here, aka English. He's the Energizer Bunny. So he was bang on target with his first delivery as the Waspa stroked it nicely into the cover region. This time he's pulling this one. He's getting a hold of it. He's going. And he went all the way for 6. So the first maximum of the innings. And it was one that was dug in short. He was asking to be hit. It sat up there. And Waspa gave it the full treatment over into the deep mid-wicket area. And there she goes. 8 for 1. So quite contrast of a difference in overs. Johnson would have only given up some 2 runs from his 6 deliveries. Some 2 deliveries so far, and this time he's full in the bat. He's choking it off the legs. Rolls out to the mid-on region, and the scampers through for a single. It's a swing and a miss by skipper Qureshi. He is there. Sucked up some free deliveries for his single, but he has realized his opening partner would have came and left without troubling the scores. As White Army striking this one very nicely. It's getting very close to the boundary, but he can only get 2 as the throw goes into the wicketkeeper. Good, nice, strong throw there. So there was a good, proper cricket shot there by Qureshi, but the field is heavily grassed, so he did not get reward. This time he's banging this one outside the yard stump. Another good-looking shot again. They're turning for 2, and they will get it quite comfortably in the end. So both batters are taking a good liking here to Mr. White. So that's why he has gone for some 11 runs so far. We would have realized a 6 from the second delivery. It was banged in short outside the legs of the batsman. Waspa made no mistake, and he got into it and got a good hold of it and sent it way over the deep mid-wicket area for a 6. So 13 for 1, that's the latest score here at the MAQ Cricket Stadium. No, Johnson. So this time he's stroking it nicely again off his pads. So Johnson into the pads, bowling over the wicket, left arm. The real skilly bowler. So Stanley has not bowled as yet. So Orlando, he has bowled some 7 deliveries. He's been a bit stingy so far. He's given up just some free singles. This time again, he's playing this one off the legs. Getting a good bit of wheel onto it, but they can only scamper through for yet another single. As Johnson back of a length on the legs. So it's a good day for cricket. There's hardly any clouds in the sky. It's really blue sky. Good, nice sun. And this time he's hitting this one in the air, but away from any fielder. That ball got big on him. The similar delivery would have caused the demise of the opening batter, but this time he got it in the middle of the bat, but he was in no position to be pulling this one. And there was no forward short leg, there's no backward short leg, and the ball just dropped into no man's land. So a bit of a scare there for Gaspar. This time he's pulling this one again in the air, and I don't think that they're measuring the pace of Johnson. By the time he would have get in a position to pull, the ball was onto him in a hurry, just about chest height, and he was in no position to be playing the pull shot. We would have seen a lovely six off the medium pacer White, but Johnson is much, much quicker. Outside the off stump, and Qureshi making room. As in baseball, a swing and a miss taken there by wicketkeeper Peter Anthony. 16 for 1. Qureshi's on 6. And Rajpal is on 10. So he's into double figures. So it's a partnership of 15. The first wicket fell when the score was only 1. And that went in the first over of this innings. This time he's playing a lovely shot. He's just opening the blade there. And let's see if he's going to have the legs to get to the boundary. Yes, indeed. So the first boundary of the inning, this one was outside the off stump, making height. And that's the end of the power play, as signaled here by umpire Valley. So over number 3 is done dusted. And Johnson allotted 2 overs is done and dusted. 20 for 1. So, seems as if it's Thomas is going to be taking up the bowling attack from this northern end. Yes, tall and lanky. He's hovering someplace around maybe 7 footer. So he goes with a little jig and a jog. This time the batsman is going after him. And there was a near miss there by the fielder as Qureshi was scampering through trying to steal a run, as they say in baseball. He had a shy at the sticks and he missed. But had he hit, it would have been very, very interesting. So Thomas starts off with a dot. So White has bowled just his 1 over and would have given up some 13 runs, I think. This time Thomas is banging this one short and the batsman is swiveling, playing this one down to the deep mid-wicket area. Would it be taking on the arm of the fielder? Yes, indeed, because that's a weak throw coming in from the deep. So the first 3 runs of the innings, and it was always on the card. So 23 for 1. So Qureshi, he is on to double figures. And we have Gaspar, he is on lucky 13. So this brings Qureshi on strike to face Ian Thomas for the first time in this inning. Oh, this time he's uppercutting this one here as he was making some height outside the off stump. Did he go all the way? I would want to think so. No, he went 1 bounce 4. That was a real looping long hop outside the off stump. And Thomas with his height, I think he has got to get the ball further up. As Qureshi lashed onto that one, and it was a good looking shot. 27 for 1. Croatia is on 14, so he has now gone past Wachpa, who is on 13. So 7 runs so far from 3 legal deliveries so far in this over. So Johnson has been the one who has really kept things in check with his 2 overs. So White and Thomas does not come to terms. And this time he's playing a trick shot here as he goes out to the extra cover region. Single. 15 to Zishan Qureshi. And he's going at a good clip. He has only taken some 10 deliveries to get to his 15. So both batters are... This time he's playing a good-looking pull shot, as this one was into the legs of the batsman that goes down to the deep backward square leg for 4. So it's meat and drink here for the batters. And early in the day, the MAQ Stars won the toss, elected to bat, and they're making good use of these opening overs. They would have lost a wicket in the first over, and since then they've recovered well. There's a partnership of some 31 ongoing, as Thomas has yet to find his length. He's been bowling back of a length and he's been whacked out of the park twice in this over so far. So he started with a dot, and then he had 3, 4, a single, and a 4. So let's see the comeback delivery as he goes in. This time he's playing a good looking shot again outside the off stump. But this time, no need to run for that one. It's going to go all the way to the boundary, I would think. Oh, well, at least the ball died somewhere along the line. It died. So they would have run free. So another expensive over there from Thomas. Some 15 runs coming from that over. Remember, it's a 10-10 affair. We're going to be having some 4 matches all day long. So we ask you to stick and stay. MAQ TV, that's the place to be, and to spend a good Sunday afternoon with us here. We're coming to you live from Delray Beach. So let's be reminded that we are still following all protocols where the COVID-19 is concerned. There are no spectators on hand, so we ask you to look at the MAQ TV, and you can stay in the comfort of your own home and enjoy a good day's cricket. Over in England, we would have had hardly any play over there between Pakistan and England. The latest score was that Pakistan, they were bowled out today, and England would have lost 1 wicket. They were 7 for 1 when bad light would stop play. This time, there's a Yorker length, and I think Damien Rowe is the new bowler. He was banging targets, and I think he would have got an inside edge on that one. He came down right in the nick of time. So 36 for 1. Again, Zishan Qureshi is on 15, and Raspa is on 21. This time he's going after him. He's playing it into the onside. They're ambling through for a single, and they'll settle for that. So the field is heavily grassed. So whatever ones that the MAQ Stars would put on here, I think they will have a good chance of defending. This time down the leg side, the batsman plays and the ball cannon into the wicketkeeper pads. So he did get a touch onto it. So a single to the batsman. As a spectator, one of the cricketers were begging for an extra delivery, asking if that was not a wide. But clearly, ball came off the willow. 38 for 1. Hardly any breeze is blowing, so it's going to be a hot, humid day. This time he's stroking this one back along the offside of the track as the ambles through for a single. So the scoreboard has been kept ticking. If you just realize the 1 wicket so far in the first over. This time again, this one is up in the block hole. They're thinking single. Yes, no, yes, no. In the end, it just remain a thought of a single. So finally, a dot goes into the scorer's book as we await the last delivery. So by contrast to the last over when Ian Thomas was carted all over the park for some 15 runs, this time he's going after him. It's in the air. There's a man down there, and he made a very weak attempt at that as the ball dropped right by his shoestrings, and he did not make an effort to pull that one up. But it's 40 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of over number 5. So we're at the halfway mark, and 40 seems good because, like I said, the field is heavily grassed. So Kureish been there at the top of the inning. He is on 17. So Yasib Raspa, he is on 23. He's going good. He's only taken some 16 deliveries to get there. So in order to speed up the proceedings, bowling 5 overs from one end consistently and another 5 from the other end. So this one should be up and over and done in a hurry. So if they can get the wheels turning from here, add another 60 runs or 100 runs would be right on the cards. Like I say, it's getting pretty humid here in the com box, I can tell you that. So earlier in the proceedings, as a matter of fact, in the very first over, we had Rehan Mohammed. He went for a duck. So he started the day with a duck. Let's hope he has not started a duck farm. No one else has followed in his footsteps because Qureshi is still there. He's on 17 and Yasib is on 23. This is down the leg side. Wide call and signal there by the umpire. So naughty, naughty, naughty from Campbell, Jamel Campbell. So .41 it is. Oh, this one is going to be a no ball, as this one was over the head of the batsman. It's a no ball. I would imagine it's going to be a free hit. We have not got the signal in from the umpires yet. So this time he's hitting it in the air. Man is getting on the way. He takes a catch, but he's not going to be out because it's going to be a free hit. Hmm? What kind of... That's a wide, so the free hit is still in existence. There's runs here. One, they're turning two. Johnson sends a strong throw into wicket-keeper Peter Anthony, and it eluded him. So 2 more to the total. 45 it is. For 1. That's another no ball. So it comes down all the way for 4. So another free hit is in the making as a no ball has been called. And he has bowled 2 in the over. But apparently the umpire would not deem it to be dangerous. So he probably would be able to continue. But if he was deemed dangerous, he would have been taken out of the attack and would not be able to bowl another delivery in this inning, in this match. So the 50 comes up. It's 50 for 1. Qureshi is on 17 and Raspa is on 29. Has been pulled out of the attack. He's been guilty of bowling dangerous deliveries there to the batsman. So we have 1 legal delivery left, which is a free hit. So if White bowls here, then he can't bowl again now. So I hope they understand the rules. White already bowled 1 over, and if he bowls a ball here, White will not be able to bowl. Right, so then White would be, if that is White, he's going to bowl his 1 delivery, then he will be done. Then remember, he can let him know he can. There he goes, and he's going in the air and away from the fielder and down to the boundary for 6. Inside out 6, a good looking shot. So that's another expensive over there. So White has not really come to the party for some reason. Another inside out shot. It goes down to cover sweeper for a single. 1-1 into the scorer's book. 57 for 1. So Yaseb, he is on 36. He's going at a good clip. we'll have to make some corrections here to the bowling analysis. We understood that Campbell was taken out of the attack with a legal delivery left. And White came in. This time he's going after him. It's in the air. There's a man down there. He takes the catch. And this time Qureshi goes. This one. So GAMEONE took the catch, took it in the approved manner, and he didn't have to move an inch. As a matter of fact, he just cupped it very nicely. So Qureshi has gone for 17. So Huda Muhammad has replaced skipper Zishan Qureshi. 57 for 2. So those batters would have put on some 56 runs partnership. So it's been a long time before the second wicket were to be realized. The first wicket would have gone in the first over from this third delivery. No. So you're looking at the AstroTurf pitch, and just east of that is a, a turf wicket. Has at least 2 turf wickets there, but it's not been put into use for quite some time now. But there's a turf wicket here. This time, batsman is covering up as he wraps in the pad, and a leg by signal there by umpire Bally. .58 for 2. Remember, it's a 10-over encounter. The place is lush green, and like I said, it's heavily grassed, so it's .37, so 59 for 2. So we've completed over number 6, some 4 overs to go. I think we're going to be seeing a bowling change. So Derek Denton is going to be the new bowler. He's going to be coming in for the first time. He's going to be bowling over number 7.
Is it Derek? Denton? Derek? No, his first name, Derek?
No, I think we have the name corrected now. We have Patrick Denton. This one was swiveled down to the deep backward square leg for 2. So early in the day, the MAQ Stars would have called white and elected to bat first. So the Global Warriors are keeping a check on things. So far, so good. But I realize a good partnership of some 56 runs for the second wicket. But now I think the happy hour is going to be on in a minute now. We have Yaseb, he's been there. He's on 40. So, this time he's pulling this one over the short mid-wicket. And it goes down to the thing and they're taking on the arm of the fielder. But it seems as if the batsman made good his ground. So not out is the call. So another 2. We take the score on to 64. This time he's playing this one in the air, but they're going to get a single for his effort. There was no timing at all in that shot as he was trying to pull it back over to the deep cow corner area, but that one seemed as if it got struck high on the bat. Patrick is the left armer. This time he's pulling this one. There's a man down there. He's dropping short of him though. 2 bounces. In the meantime, the batters will scamper through for a single. So Huda Mohammed, he is on 3 from 3. And again, the inform Yaseb, he is on 41. This time they're going to take it on the arm of the fielder. It's a bad miss. Took his eyes off the ball at the last moment. So youngster, you've got to keep your eyes on the ball. Grasp it and send the throw in if you ought to avert a run out. So that's the end of over number 7. All of 3 to go. 67 for 2. So would we realize the first 50 of the game? We have not witnessed a 50 in this tournament so far. I think the highest score here was Tala. He was left high and dry on 48. So since this tournament would have started a few months ago, we have yet to realize a 50 in the match. Remember, it's a 10-10, so it's not going to always be looking for 100. This time it's a full toss and it's a no ball. And again, it's going to be another free hit. So the free hit signal comes in now from Umpire Valley. So the fielders can change because the batters did cross. So free hit comes up. And the inform Yaseb on 41. Let's see what he will do with this. He's been there for quite some time. He's been there from the very first over. Starts and stop and dead ball. So he has got to reload and come again. A bit of a cat and mouse game is going on. Oh, and this time is a good delivery, but he didn't do much with that. Perhaps the bluff worked. He came earlier and aborted his run, and somehow the batter forgot that it was a free hit. So that one was into the pads, and he just tried to play a conventional stroke off the pad. This time outside the off stump, and I think he's smartly stumped there by Peter Anthony. He whipped the bails off in a flash, and that was lightning fast there by Peter Anthony. This one was outside the off stump. The batsman was playing across of it, and he missed, and wicketkeeper Peter Anthony did the rest. He looked as sharp as a tack. I have to check his birth certificate. Yeah, remember the days of old of the Leeward Islands fame, my wicketkeeper batsman Peter Anthony. So Huda Mohammed, he has gone. He has contributed some 5 runs to the cause. Naveed is the batsman. He's going in now. So Navi, he's been around for quite a long time. He's a good cricketer, a perfect gentleman if there's such a thing. You wouldn't want to meet a nicer person than Naveed. I remember him way back when he used to play for the Pakistani team when they were coming out of the Southwest in Miami. We have had some real good battles over the years. Just in case, the voice you're hearing is the voice of Ivor Henry on commentary. So 4 deliveries left in this, the 8th over. It's a 10 over encounter, let me remind you. And come December 16th to the 20th, if all things remain equal, we'll be having the Cricket County USA 2020 matches. This time, Naveed is stroking this one along the one side of the turf, but can't score. Showing signs of aggression early. Has no choice. This time he's stroking this one back along the turf, though. So it seems as if that Naveed is there for the long haul, because he had 2 deliveries that he just stroked off his legs. First one he showed some signs of aggression, but the second one just try to get some willow onto the leather. This time he's on the back foot and he's playing a good looking stroke into the offside, but can't score. So he's free up, 3 dots. Score remains under 70 for 3. You're in tune to the MAQ TV, and we're coming to you live from the MAQ Cricket Stadium. This time he's pulling this one from outside of the leg stump. There was a loud appeal, not out. That was the verdict, not out. So the end of over number 8. So the penultimate over comes up, and I think this is going to be the happy hour, the start of the happy hour, as Yasib is there on 42. And I said earlier, we have yet to witness a 50 in this tournament. The highest score has been 48. And that was made by Tala, the southpaw. They would have won the match, so there was no need for him to go on to make 50. So 70 for the loss of some free wicket. This time he's down the leg side. He's pulling this one. And he's splitting the deep backward square leg and the square leg, and they're going to be running a relaxing 2. 44 it is. That goes to Yasib Rapar. 72 for 3. So the partnership is in its infancy. It's just 2 runs. This time he's going big. It's in the air, but it's away from the fielder, and White made a gallant effort down there, and he went for 6. So there's 50 for the young man, and that's a 50. Hey, that's 50 for him. Guys, that's 50. So that's the first 50 of this tournament. What a way to get it. This time he's giving himself some room as he stroked this one on the offside. As he ambles through for a single, he's under 51. So he's been reprieved with a no ball earlier when he was out caught off a no ball. This time Naveed is playing this one bounce down to the deep mid wicket area. So he gets off the mark. Took him some 5 deliveries to get off the mark. So 80. This time he's pulling this one. There's a man down there. He's going to go one bounce to him. So 81 for free. We have one delivery left in this over, and then we'll end the proceedings here with the final over, which comes up. So we are 2, 6, 1, 1, 1. So he has yet to bowl a dot. This time he's slapping this one here, but he goes to the man in the extra cover and can't score. So a dot to end that over. Over number 9. The latest score here at the MAQ Cricket Stadium is 81 for the loss of some 3 wickets. Yasib, he is on 52. Good looking 50. Naveed has just joined the party. He is on 1. So a partnership of some 11 runs so far. So this is going to be the last over. At the end of this over, we're going to have a little wrap. And this time, this an inside edge going past the leg stump. So good start to the proceedings of the 10th and final over. Yes. So Derek now comes in for his first over. He has bowled some 1 over performance. This time he's, oh, beautifully taken. My word, that's a blinder. Orlando Johnson, I'm telling you, well, Allstate has got to be in business. Accidents do happen, because that one was a sharp catch, I'm telling you. It was cut, came off the middle of the bat, and Johnson was no more than about 6 meters from the bat, and he took it like taking candy from a baby. That was definitely a good catch. The catch of the match so far. So wicket number 4 goes into the scorer's book. 82 for 4. So Naveed, he is left, and he would have made, I think, some 1-1. So the new batter is Azim Mohammed. Well, Azim has batted here twice in this tournament so far, and every time he bats, the first delivery, he hits a 4. So let us see if he's going to have a hat-trick of 4s. And it so happened that he's always been a full toss on the legs. So, and he's batting from the very same wicket. So let us see if he's going to get one that he's going to be pulling down to deep backward square leg from a full delivery. Let's see if there's a pattern. Oh, a swing and a miss. So this time he's not third time lucky. So we're halfway through over number 10. This time he's hitting this one in the air. It's away from midfielder. He's running 1. And they're going to be taking a comfortable 2. As the throw comes into the wicketkeeper end. So there was no timing at all in that one. It was a full delivery. He didn't do enough with it, but like we say, he just gone to the wicket. We have Yasib. He's been there for quite some time. He's on 53, and just 2 legal delivery left in this innings. So I think Yasib might just be thinking, coming back with a not out. We have some trophies on display. So we have man of the match. This time he's going big in the air. There's a man down there. There's White down there trying to get under it, but it's all in vain. That one goes beyond him for a maximum 6. So 90. I don't think they're going to get to the 100. So 1 legal delivery left. So let's see. So Azim makes sure that he gets it beyond the boundary. And this time it's a full toss, and it's going to be a no ball. Goes in the air. They're going to be running 2. We have seen quite a number of no balls bowled today, as those balls was going over the waist. One was actually over the head of the batsman. Caused a little bit of a controversy, really, but it was corrected in the end. There's no way a ball is going to go over a batsman's head, and it's a wide. This time he's pulling this one. He's getting a good hold of it. He's going to go into the boundary. Maybe no. There's a man running around on there. Let's see if he'll take the arm on. Yes. They're going to be scampering 3 runs. So the end of the inning, 96. So the 97 is going to be required for victory. Welcome back to the MAQ Cricket Stadium as the run chase is going to be on. So we have Damien Rowe. He's going to be taking first strike as Asim goes in. This time he's swinging and missing. So that goes into the book as Asim with that lovely approach to the wicket. So they're asking rate of 9.7. So it's a tall order. It took some going for the MAQ Stars to get there. Runs on the board is runs on the board. A second delivery comes in outside the off stump. That one keeping low. It's a wide outside the off stump. So the account has been opened by way of extras. So Asim a bit naughty going outside the off stump and not giving the batsman a fair chance of getting a chance to catch up with that one. So the umpire, in his opinion, says you have to reload and come again. In the meantime, the account has been opened. 1 for no loss. This time he's stroking this one nicely to the right of the extra cover and to the left of the bowler as he gets off the mark. That's Damien Rowe. And it brings Philip Cameron on strike. And Philip is sporting the red pad, so we're not going to be getting these two batters mixed up anytime soon. But it's a pretty hot day, and the folks are decked out in black. And I'm saying, I think it's that's a sin for you guys to choose the black in this Florida hot sun. That's double punishment, as Asim now with his first delivery to Philip, and he's covering up nicely as this one plays back along the track. Early days yet. You're asking 9.7 runs and over. That's quite a tall order. But who knows? Remember, you can get 36 runs from an over. Very unlikely to happen today. This time he's playing this one with soft hands, getting off the mark. I think we have got a broken bat. Yes, already. So Asim is quite pacey. So that one hit right up in the shoulder of the bat, and you can see him indicating that he needs a bat. So he's indicating to his teammates. 3 for no loss over number 1. This time he's going after him. He's getting it in the middle. They're running 1. They're turning for 2. And got it comfortably in the end. So 5 for no loss. Partnership of 5. Early in the proceedings, MAQ Stars would have won the toss, elected to take the first knock, and they got quite a respectable score of 96 for 4. This time it's in the air. It has the height. He does not have the distance because the wicketkeeper is dancing on the it, and he takes the catch. He pouch it. So just like in the first inning, when we would have realized a first wicket in the first over, here it is, we're having a first wicket in the first over, 5 for 1. Yeah, the wicketkeeper, he took the catch, the wicketkeeper. Like we said, nothing puts you behind the clock more than losing wickets. But then, like we said again, all is not lost because here was 96 realized on the board when the score was only 1 when the MAQ Stars batted first. But here it is. They've done some 4 better. They're 5 for 1 instead of 1 for 1. So Damon takes a slowly dreadful walk back to the dugout. Seemed to be a dejected man. So over number 1 is in the bank, and we're gonna have a new bowler, and his name gonna be Rizwan Ahmed. So they had hitting Antonio Scott. We didn't see him bowl today. Oh, as a matter of fact, yes, that's all. Yeah, he's a fast, lanky bowler, no nonsense guy. I've seen that guy made 100 of very limited balls here right at the sports park. That guy was hitting the ball as if the ball did him something. He's trying to take the leather off of the ball. So left arm, this time he's covering up nicely. He's bang on target. That's Rizwan Ahmed. He's been around quite some time in these parts too. Rizwan, his left armer. Rizwan. So he's bowling in a cap, and this time he's going after him, and he's misstumped, I would think. A sloppy bit of wicket keeping there as he danced down, and one went between the sticks and the batter, and the wicketkeeper moving down the leg side failed together, having taken such a beautiful catch. And now this one, to me, which would have been much easier with a stumping. But nonetheless, he survives. 5 for 1. This time he's covering up again, and here it is. Which one seems as if he has Philip in a vice grip at this time. He's sucked up some 5 deliveries for his 1. But it's early days yet. This time he's going after him. It's in the air. There's a man down there. He's running around. He runs around. He takes it. No, he drops it. Unbelievable. He did all the hard work. Got there and then juggled it like a juggler. And the bowler, I know he's not going to be impressed with that. He's been bang on target. And this time, only 2 men can be outside the circle for the first 3 overs. And would you believe that he picked out one of them? He just had to just run some 10 meters to his right. And well, it's all the excitement is happening here, so I think the game is going to be turning quick and in a hurry. This time he's down the leg side, and Scott is getting into the action quick and in a hurry. As he take this one beyond the boundary board for a maximum 6. So like I say, Scott, I would have introduced him by way of making 100 in a nonsensical way at the sports park last year. And here it is, first delivery up, and he wasted no time in pulling this one into the bushes. So we're gonna wait a while and see if they're gonna recover that ball quick and in a hurry. If not, we might have to have a replacement ball. It's steaming hot here in South Florida. So if you're visiting for the first time, we want to welcome you. Even though we're in COVID-19, we ask you to stay safe and we ask you to enjoy your stay in whatever way you can. Just observe the social distancing and follow all protocols. We here at the MAQ Stadium are doing just that. So it seems as if the ball has been recovered. So we shall continue the proceedings very, very shortly. So Antonico Scott, he's a tall, lanky, he's hovering about 7'2". He's not an ounce of fat in the youngster, but he can hit a long ball. This time he's stroking this one nicely. This one was a good comeback delivery here by Rizwan Mohammed. So over number 2 is in the bank. It's 12-1. That's the latest score here at the MAQ Cricket Stadium. Remember, we're trying to get to 97. I'm trying to give penalty runs, I guess. But 97, that's all that is required for victory by the Global Warriors. If they were to get there and to lift the coveted prize, there is a Man of the Match award for each game. So Huda, the left armer from the northern end, normally bowls through the umpire and the sticks, between the umpire and the sticks. So let's see if he'll change his mode. Outside the off stump, and here it is. Philip is swinging and missing. Don't think he would have got much for that, though. He was trying to bang that one into the grass, but it's heavily grassed. So he has got to follow in the manner of Scott. He has got to go aerial. He has got to take the aerial route if he wants to get. This time he's going after him again, but he's going out to the wide long one, and they settle for one quite quickly, as a matter of fact. So Lucky 13 comes up on the scoreboard, 13-1. Scott is back on strike. He has faced some 2 deliveries. He's on 6. A mighty blow over the deep backward square leg already. This time he's going after him, and a swinger miss outside the off stump. He was on one knee, pulling out the boom to hit into the offside though. But there's a man stationed down here, right beneath us, right beneath the com box. And again, this is the final over of the power play, and 2 men are out, and you can have one here, one in the long on and one in the long off. But he was trying to go in our area. This time he's on the back foot, not timing. As he goes straight to Asim, who knocks it down and can't score. They started out with the required run rate being some 9.7, and that has climbed since. Scott is going after him again. He's not getting a hold of this one. He's getting an inside edge as the ball trickles out to the mid-on. And they scampers through for a single. So Scott is not timing. He would have seen a lovely shot, one which would have caught it out of the park. But since that, his timing has gone, has deserted him. This time outside the off stump, a loud appeal, may have gotten a touch, we're not too sure. But from the bowler's reaction there, seemed as if he got a touch on that one, and the wicketkeeper, Sloppy, has taken a good catch for the first dismissal, but he would have seen a dismissal earlier, and now a caught behind has been put down. 14-1. So a good, nice, tidy over there from Huda. Just some 2 runs coming from it. So he had some 4 dots in that, and dot balls are like gold dust when it comes to a 10-10 cricket match. We still have another free match to go in this. Yeah, we have Ian here with us, and probably
Yes, Audley, thank you for inviting me into the commentary box.
Ivor Henry, sir.
Yes, Ivor Henry.
We want to say good afternoon to Audley, as you just mentioned his name.
Boy, you see, we miss Audley here, you know, in the commentary box. We used to having him.
Oh, and this one was a near miss. There's Qureshi was trying to pick one just to his left. He was trying to ride it. He was hit from the middle of the bat like a shot from a gun. And he did well to get his hand to it, I can tell you that much.
Yes, Ivor. So, as we see, the Global Warriors, they're chasing a modest total of 96 runs. So far, 15 for 1. And over number 4, you know, as we can see, the target, B97, is going to take a little bit of batting to get to that target. But today, we think we have a very good team that should be able to pull through. So let's see how they do.
Well, which one is a wicket taker? I can tell. This one is in the air. Scott is top edge in this one. 2 men are running after. The wicket keeper is going after, and then he takes the catch.
Very good catch there, buddy.
Very good catch again. So at least he's a very good judge of the catches once they go in the air. But the caught behind, he's not taking those. He's not taking the stumping. So Scott goes. Top edge in one, trying to be too cute. That one he should have tried to take it over the deep mid-wicket area. He just a flick of the wrist, and ball hitting the outside edge, and the ball just ballooned into the air, and wicketkeeper did the rest. So, are you still saying it's a small matter of 97?
Well, it's still gettable. It's still in the reach, as I say. And Scott would have been a player that they would have been expecting to produce some runs here today. He's been away from the game for a while, you know, over 3 months. We know with the COVID situation, a lot of the players, they haven't been involved in the cricket, and Scott is one of such players. This is the first time we are seeing him out here at the MAQ Cricket Stadium, and unfortunate for him, he did not last too long. And with that said, the required run rate is really creeping up very fast, 12.5 that is required at this present moment. So the current run rate just 4.6, so 16 for 2 in 3.3 overs. As I said, it's going to take a bit of work to get to that total.
Yes, indeed. So it's 16 for 2, and we would have realized a good partnership of some 50 yard between the MAQ Stars after the first wicket would have fell. So White is making his way, belatedly late getting in there. I think he's going to have a stern warning from the umpire as he's looking at him, and I guess he's going to be saying something to him. Seems as if he's satisfied with his excuse for getting to the crease at such a late hour. So White, he came in for some good hammering. He did get a wicket in the end, but he was not his usual self. So now he's asked to score some 12 runs and over if his team has got to get anywhere close to the winnings of 97. They still required some 81 runs, and it's going to be like climbing Mount Everest, and I'm going to tell you why. The field is heavily grassed. The Global Warriors, they're decked out in black, so they've been punished twice in terms of overheating, and they were chasing runs in the field, and now they have to chase runs while batting, and they're doing it again, and they're coming up against the likes of Wiswan. Wiswan again is the wicket taker. This time again, White is going after him, and Wiswan again is bang on target. Wiswan, a veteran in his own right here. Yes. I think by far and away he has taken the most wickets here in this tournament so far.
Yes, Rizwan is a very disciplined bowler, and as you can see, you know, he's dead on target, and he will actually invite the batsman to come down the track, and a lot of the time he will leave them scampering or getting the top edge, because, you know, he looks like he's easy to get away, but it's not that easy getting him away. He's a difficult bowler, and you got to really work for every run.
As we would say, White is not reading him at all. 2 deliveries up, and he seems to be in La La Land at this time. And Rizwan would say in previous interviews, all I do, I just try to take pace off the delivery and keep it hanging, and just try to keep the batsman in check. And there it is. He comes to the end of a successful over. At the end of it, it's 16 for 2 at the end of over number 4.
Yes, 16 for 2 over number 4. It's definitely now looking like an uphill task. As you can see, Lenroy White coming to the wicket. He thought, he'd have a go. Very first ball he had a swing, but, did not make any connection. Follow through with the next ball, but he realized that, guess what, Rizwan is not going to be the bowler that he's going to be able to pick today. So he actually played forward down the track to his last delivery, which I said was just showing some respect to the bowler. He's doing an excellent job.
No, we have a bowling change. Hura has been changed. No, we have a new bowler. And that seemed to be the first bowler there. What's his name again? That was the first bowler. Yes, he's coming back for his second over. Yeah, he bowled over number 2, and now he's coming back to bowl over number 5.
As you can see, the field, it is very heavy out there, and the inner circle being cut, but the outer circle very heavy, so it's going to take some hitting. As I would have said, we got to go over the top if we're going to have a chance at this one.
This time he's going big. There's a man down there, but he's going to go way beyond him for 6.
And there you have it. Philip is basically saying, it's either do or die. You got to go with it. So that's another MAQ 6 there, So good batting from Philip in the last game here at the stadium. He batted pretty well. I think he got a 50. And today, I guess he will have to stay at the wicket because we're going to need more than 50 from him today.
This time he's coming down the track and he's choking this one. They should have been thinking too, but lazy running there from Philip Cameron. As seems as though he has runs put up in the bank someplace. That should have been an easy 2 because the field is heavily grass. The man is way out in the deep, long off boundary, and he had to come all the way in. And while Lesroy White was thinking too, he was settling. Oh, this time back to the bowler, and he dropped it. That's what we call a THTH. It's too hot to handle.
Yep, I think what it straight back down the track.
Yes, he was hit with some venom. And this time White is covering up. As we come to the end of over number 5. So we're at the halfway mark and we will change ends. And it is 25 for 2. Ian.
Yes, at 25 for 2, we are looking at halfway in. We are looking at a run rate, required run rate of 14.4. I'll just say 15 runs and over if they're going to get to this 97 runs total. And it's going to definitely take some batting. As I see, Lenroy faced all of 6 delivery, but only a single on the board. You can't have that going on for too long because that is just definitely going to have the run rate running away from you. So we're going to see what the plan is for the Global Warriors in the second half with only 5 overs to go. A lot of runs to get.
We've seen skipper Zishan Croatia has left the field, so we'll find out in a few if he would have suffered some injury or he's just going to be off momentarily. He's slated to play some 4 games. He told me that earlier today. I don't know if he's conserving some energy at this time, but he's off the field, so I'm not sure if Naveed is going to be the one who's going to be controlling the proceedings.
I can tell you something, Ivor. It is very hot out there on the field. Today it's very, very humid, even though we have a little wind coming by.
So, well, nothing to report on Sean. He's okay. He's just that he would have left the field momentarily. So he's not a scare or anything.
Yeah, and that is good to know, because as I said, it's very humid. So it's a day that the players will definitely have to be hydrating pretty frequently.
Yes, indeed.
And it's Azim to continue.
Oh, this one is keeping low outside the off stump. It's a wide. That one just skidded through. We call that a worm. Said it was not going to leave the earth. So the wicketkeeper did well to at least keep it in front of him. So 26 it is. In the first inning, the first over from that end, as a matter of fact, the sixth over was a wide. So the pattern has continued.
Yeah, I don't think the run pattern continued though.
No, the run definitely not. So we had 5 good overs from this end, and then we started with a wide in the first inning, and we have repeated starting with a wide. So Azim, let's see. Outside the off stump, and is edging over the wicketkeeper's head, and they're running 1. They're thinking 2, and White is doubling up, and I think White is not doing the right thing. He was thinking 2 even before Philip was in his stance down there. So we could have easily had 2 men ending up at the same end.
I say all White want to do is run this time. He's not putting any bat on the ball, so I guess he decided to run some.
Yeah, he's trying to get away from the strike. He said, "No, you go and take the strike." That's another swing and a miss outside the off stump. That one is quite pacey. So Asim, seems as if you've got to test the youngster. He's bowling with some venom. He's putting number 12 on his shirt. So I guess White, he's been there for quite some time. He's on 1. This time he's playing this one into the offside, covering up. But can only get 1. They're going to need much more than that, Ian.
Yeah, definitely. Single's not going to help them at this point of the game. You know, they're going to need some boundaries. And I would rather to see them hit him some MAQ 6 today. Because that's the only thing that's going to get them over to that total that is now becoming very difficult. As I said, now it looked like an uphill task for the Global Warriors. You know, I don't think their approach was pretty firm in the beginning. They needed much more than that in the first half of the game, which they're just 29 for 2, and we're now into the 6th over. With only 4 overs to be bowled, you know, they're going to be requiring a lot of runs.
Okay, well, they're asking just 15 runs and over, and that can be had. This time he's pulling this one over the bowler's head for a single. Again, White is not timing at all. He's disgusted with himself as he just trolled that single. So I guess, as Ian said, White seems as if he wants to be just a runner.
I think that's it, the plan for him today. But
just to be a runner.
Just realize that we need a batter too.
This time he's going big in the air off the legs. That's a good shot. And we're waiting for the signal to come in from the umpire. And it's 4. 1 bounce 4. That's a good stroke off the legs there. So Philip, he's gone on to 19. 34 for 2.
Yeah, so Philip there is doing just a little more than a runner ball, which is definitely his game. You know, that's the type of batsman he is. But at this point, you know, he will realize that he definitely have to do a lot more than that.
This time he's playing a tennis shot. But he's not timing it again. They're running 2.
I don't think Philip is up to the running, you know. It seems like his physical is not up to par at this moment, so he's willing to settle with a single.
Yeah, well, I think he's farming the strike. He know that he would be on strike at the end of that over. It was the very last ball of that over, and he seems as if he's winded. He's calling for some refreshments at this time, but he has got to contend with Rizwan Mohammed, who is going to be taking up the attack to bowl his second allotment of these 2 overs. And Rizwan already been in the wicket column.
Yeah, good thinking there by Philip, because he's the one that is basically getting the runs on the board. So
yes, he was
White definitely not playing his part today. 7 balls, 2 runs. He's gonna need more than that. Philip now turns over the strike to White. Let's see if White knows what he gotta do, but it's not gonna be the one anymore.
The one 36 it is for 2. So Rizwan again with a wicket under his belt. White is going after him. It's going in the air. There's one. I think they're going to get a comfortable two, but they're going to settle for one because, like we said, Philip is not quite interested in running singles. I don't know. I disagree with him, though. We need to get the ball off the square. He has got to conserve energy. It is really hot. With the heat index, I know we're in the 90s. This time he's playing this one in the air, but away from the fielder. And my word, that is some poor cricket. Philip thought that the ball would have gone for four. He did not time it, and in the end had to hustle for a single.
Yeah, we're sad to see Philip start struggling now based on the fact that, you know, he is over-exerting himself in terms of the singles. But if you're not going to get the singles turn over the strike, which the singles won't work, but definitely you have to be hitting the boundaries and you're going to be timing the ball properly. So far, he's not timing as well as he would like to, but he's doing much better than White at this stage of the game.
Well, he's out of the camera view here, but he's on his haunches at this time. White is edging one, and he's looking for two, but there is a non-existent two. I don't know what was he thinking.
So we realize that White, the best part of his bat is the edge. Nothing hit in the middle, nothing going over the boundary. 9 balls, 4 runs. Definitely run rate running away, 17.4 that is required.
Oh, and where's one making sure he gets out of the way of that one, because that one was hit back at him, came back at him in a hurry. He was in the air, but Wisdom would have none of it. 40.
Yep, I think that the age of Philip, and that is what is happening to him. It's taking a little toll on him, you know. Right now, running between the wicket become an uphill for him. And as I said, timing is very poor with Lenroy missing all over the place. Nothing hit in the middle of the bat. So 10 balls to him, 4 runs on the board. I know the captain must be really getting a little nervous, probably thinking he should have walked to the middle.
Well, you've got to make your mind up. First you told me that he was playing with the edge, and now he's playing with nothing at all.
It only gets thinner and thinner as we go along, Ivor.
Well, I can say it's an uphill struggle. Some 19 runs from here is required. It's just 3 overs left, and the wages are going up. Would they make 50?
Yeah, at this point, they're basically defeating themselves, because as you see in the last over, 1-1-1-1-1, and nothing off the last ball, telling you exactly the type of game they're playing in the middle there. You know, with only 18 balls to go and 57 runs to get, it's a very uphill battle, and these bowlers seem to be right on target. So it's going to be a challenge.
Again, Philip is not timing. There's no timing. I think that the bat sounds real woody, shelly. Yeah, it sounds like there's no gum, isn't that at all? But nonetheless, he got 2 for his effort, as Azim was back pitching, and he was swatting this one over Wiswan in the short mid-wicket area. This time he's pulling again at one outside the off stump. Can't score. So Azim again looks good. He's sharp. He's hustling and bustling in the heat, doing all his work to keep his team in the hunt, in the winning column. Just some 12 runs would have taken from his delivery so far. He has some 4 legal deliveries left in his spell. This time again he's coughing this one down to the deep mid-wicket area, but there can only be 1. They're not going to get much on the turf. It's the outfield is heavily grassed. They've got to go aerial, and they've got to go big.
Yeah, definitely. I think he take a peek at the bat a while ago. You know, I don't like the way the bat is sounding, and even when you get it in the middle, there's no chance of getting it across the boundary.
And here's White trying to be too cute as a slow one down the leg side, and it's a wide call, the signal. But here it is, White, rather than extending his arms and trying to get it beyond the boundary, he's flicking at the one that was way down the leg side. So he's not seeing, he's not looking.
Yeah, you just might as well let that one go by because, you know, at least it's a free single.
Yes, get the extra hit. Here again, a swing and a miss, loud appeal. A nod of the head in the negative, saying no, not out. White seemed to be disgusted with himself. So, what words do you have for White at this time?
Definitely you will be mad at yourself, Ivor. 11 balls, and it's not that you haven't faced any ball. You have 11 balls that pass you by. The only thing that's one or two find the edge. No, he's trying to construct a shot. I don't know what you would call that one if that had connected. Ivor, and what name would you give to that shot if you had made any form of connection there?
It's a nothing shot.
Yeah, definitely, we got nothing.
So White is not with us today. He's a competitive competitor. I would give him that much. But somehow today, he's not with it. This time he's playing it back along the track in the air. Came up the middle, but not enough to want more than a single as the over comes to an end. So that would bring White back on strike. And
Yeah, 12 balls to go. It's definitely a big challenge. 26 runs you'd have to have a Brian Lara at the wicket. Yeah, definitely a Clive Lloyd, Viv Richards type of batting would would be required at this particular time.
Yeah.
Not what we see being displayed in the middle there.
But the batters have to change, but I hope that they realize that. Because the end of the over.
Well, let's see if Sir Bally, who is the umpire, if he's watching too. Because after today.
Well, White knows he's on strike, so he's already up here at this end. But I don't think that Philip, he's aware that he has got to go down to the non-striker's end. I guess he was told now by White.
I know Philip wouldn't mind standing at that side. He don't like running right now, and I probably don't even like walking to the other end, knowing that he's just gonna be watching the ball going by White. You know, White have 13 balls, 5 runs to his name. Philip still remain just a little above a runner ball, 26 from 24. You know, he's a typical opener that you don't wanna have, but you know, at point it calls that you have to step up the game.
Okay, White is getting this one off the middle of the bat, so this is going to be his first double.
And
I
don't think Philip wanna do that. Philip know where they stand at this point.
Yeah,
like, if we're gonna get over it, the single's not gonna do it, so might as well I have a swing here.
Yeah, it would have been a tight two though. I don't think they would have been able to get the two.
He may be more likely to get his 50 rather than get into the targeted score.
Oh, he's going big. There's a man circling down there, but he's gone beyond, way beyond Bungie board for 6.
As I said, you know, Philip has a plan.
So Philip has a plan, and I guess he has got to execute it now. It's now or never.
He's going for the 50. 32 from 25. Just 18 runs away.
Well, the top score in the inning so far has been 53, and that was made by Yasib. This time he's hitting this one in the air, but not timing. White is thinking 2.
White is the runner. In this game, definitely he's the runner.
So we have a new bowler. He's bowling his second over. Zishan Akhtar? This is going to be his first over? But they have not 8 on him? That's him. Oh, okay. White has got to go aerial. He's coming out of the middle of the bat this time, but he's going along the turf, and again, the field is heavily grass. He's not going to get much for his effort.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for you to realize that no matter how hard you hit it along.
And Scott is going big. Philip is going big again. That's a good sounding. He's on 60, and you said he's on 39?
Yeah, Philip looked like a very good batsman there in the middle. Last week he got some runs. Today he's getting some runs again.
Yeah, who he played? Where they played it last
Boy, the last game. So I said the last game here.
Oh, okay.
So he did make a 50. But today it's going to be a very close and tight one. With just a few balls to get. I want to see how much of that he will get.
Oh, this one is in the air. He's going to get probably 2 for it.
Yeah, so he goes up to 41 off 28. So his strike rate is pretty good. It's just Lenroy on the other end not living up to the expectation that the captain may have had. Only.
Well, mathematically, the game can still be won.
Well, it would have to be a record breaking over again here at the ground. I think they'd have to bowl a over like what our spinner had bowled, about 15 balls in that over.
Mm-hmm.
So a single over required run rate 35. So we're 62 for 2, chasing a target of 97 runs to win.
Yes, well, Hura has been summoned into the attack to bowl the final over.
Yeah, unless they're bowling some no balls and some free hits. But as it is, I think Philip just needs to go at it, see if he gets a 6 and a 4 would take him to his 50. He only has about 5 balls to do that. I would not give Lenroy any more of the strike from
Oh, this time he's going big. So there's the first one. There's one. So he's on to 47. Remember, top score so far in the inning has been 53. He did that from some 31 delivers.
But we haven't seen much of this player in the league here, Philip, but he seems to be a pretty good batsman. He seems like he's able to transition, he can change the innings. But as you see, you can't do it all by yourself here, not if you're not getting all the strike. Which he definitely wasn't, because we can see Lenroy have 8 wasted ball, faced 16 and only have 8 runs on the board, so he would have done well with those 8 balls. Probably would have taken us to the target.
Here he goes again, another flat bat at 6.
Another 6, and that's his 50.
And that's 50 for the young man.
So
That's a 50. Put up your bat, 50.
tell the umpire through the talkie. So at least I was right about one thing, him getting the 50.
Yes, and he has even the score, the top score. So he has a chance to top score in the inning. So the score looks a little bit more respectable, though. This time again, he's going down ground and going for another 6. So he has a hat trick of 6s.
Yep. Lenroy should have let him bat the whole thing. At the end of this game, we're only going to say Lenroy came up short because Philip is definitely doing his part.
Yes, 2 balls to go.
I think he's going to come out more than 200% run rate.
Unless he could be a ball and no ball on him 6 runs. Yeah.
It'll be a cardinal sin for Huda to bowl a no ball or even a wide here.
He's surely taking a hitting in this over here.
Yeah, he can take 2 more 6s. They're still. You just don't need a free hit. You don't need a no ball 6 and a free hit. Yeah. I don't think he'll be coming this way anytime soon.
Yeah.
He'll be headed for the hills somewhere else.
You know, if he had another over, definitely the captain would have given him his sweater. Even the hot sun here.
Yes, and one more legal delivery, but that was a good partnership of 65, of which Mr. White, he contributed just some 8 runs of that.
Yeah, those extra ball that a White face would have definitely make a difference. He ever gotten some runs out of it.
So game, set, match. So the MAQ Stars would have won. So they fell short by some 15 runs.
Very good inning there from Philip Cameron. He actually made the Global Warriors look good today in terms of their he came very powerful in the end. He would have liked to have a little bit more help from Lenroy there. 8 runs from 16 balls. Damian Rowe only 3 from 4. And Antonica Scott got 8 from 7, so he was just about a little overrun a ball. So
They only lost just some 2 wickets.
yes, they should have done much better with only 2 wickets
If you're making
down.
82 for 8, 9, something you can say, yeah, but too many wickets left in the hut.
Yeah, I think Lenroy didn't play his part on this one, but he will take away from it, you know.